You can't wait for inspiration. You have to go after it with a club. The proper function of man is to live, not to exist. I shall not waste my days in trying to prolong them. I shall use my time. But I am I. And I won't subordinate my taste to the unanimous judgment of mankind. Life is not a matter of holding good cards, but sometimes playing a poor hand well. He was a man without a past, whose future was the imminent grave and whose present was a bitter fever of living. Life achieves its summit when it does to the uttermost that which it was equipped to do. I would rather be a superb meteor, every atom of me in magnificent glow, than a sleepy impermanent planet. Don't loaf and invite inspiration, light out after it a club. As one grows weaker, one is less susceptible to suffering. There is less hurt because there is less to hurt. I would rather be ashes than dust. I would rather be a superb meteor, every atom of me in magnificent glow, than a sleepy impermanent planet. The aim of life was meat. Life itself was meat. Life lived on life. There were the eaters and the eaten. One cannot violate the promptings of one's nature without having that nature recoil upon itself. His conclusion was that things were not always what they appeared to be. Thenceforth, in the nature of things, he would possess an abiding distrust of appearances. He was mastered by the sheer surging of life, that it was aglow and rampant, expressing itself in movement, flying exultantly under the stars. He was a killer, a thing that preyed, surviving triumphantly in a hostile environment where only the strong survive. The wild still lingered in him and the wolf in him merely slept. Food and fire, protection and companionship, worked for him, and obeyed him. He was a silent fury who no torment could tame. Deep in the forest a call was sounding, he knew not where or why, nor did he wonder where or why, the call sounding imperiously, deep in the forest. Kill or be killed, eat or be eaten, was the law, and this mandate, down out of the depths of time. I would rather that my spark should burn out in a brilliant blaze than it should be stifled by dry rot. A bone to the dog is not charity. Charity is the bone shared with the dog, when you are just as hungry as the dog. For the pride of trace and trail was his, and sick unto death, he could not bear that another dog should do his work. She was thrilling to a desire, squabbling with the dogs, and to be avoiding and dodging the stumbling feet of men. I reckon you've called the turn, Bill. That wolf's a dog, and it's eaten fish many's the time from the hand of man. And yet he remains somehow different from other dogs. Buck did not read the newspapers, or he would have known that trouble was brewing, not alone for himself, but for every tidewater dog, strong of muscle and with warm, long hair, from Puget Sound to San Diego. Out of this pack persecution he learned two important things: how to take care of himself in a mass fight against him, and how, on a single dog, to inflict the greatest amount of damage in the briefest space of time. He became quicker of movement than the other dogs, swifter of foot, craftier, deadlier, more lithe, more lean with iron-like muscle and sinew, more enduring, more cruel, more ferocious, and more intelligent. He allowed the master these liberties was no reason that he should be a common dog, loving here and loving there, everybody's property for a romp and good time. Love, genuine passionate love, was his for the first time. Is love so gross a thing that it must feed upon publication and public notice? It would seem so. He did not playfully shake him, as was his wont, or murmur soft love curses, but he whispered in his ear. "As you love me, Buck. As you love me," was what he whispered. And who knows what romance, what adventure, What love, is lurking around the next turn of the road, ready to leap out on us if we'll only travel that far. He loved with single heart and refused to cheapen himself or his love. Their hate bound them together as love could never bind. And from that moment Buck hated him with a bitter and deathless hatred. I remembered my days and nights of sunshine and starshine, where life was all a wild sweet wonder, a spiritual paradise of unselfish adventure and ethical romance. The game of life is good, though all of lives may be hurt, and though all lives lose the game in the end. He who steals my purse steals my right to live, was the reply, old saws to the contrary. For he steals my bread and meat and bed, and in doing so imperils my life. He was quick and alert in the things of life, but only in the things, and not in their significances. It was the masterful and incommunicable wisdom of eternity laughing at the futility of life and the effort of life. The only way to know life is by not ignoring life. The function of man is to live, not to exist. I shall not waste my days trying to prolong them. I shall use my time. Life? Bah! It has no value. Of cheap things it is the cheapest. Everywhere it goes begging. A human life the treasure of the world cannot buy, nor can it redeem one which is misspent, nor can it make full and complete and beautiful a life which is dwarfed and warped and ugly. Could we but find time and opportunity and utilize the last bit and every bit of the unborn life that is in us, we could become the fathers of nations and populate continents. Where there is room for one life, she sows 1,000 lives, and its life eats life till the strongest and most piggish life is left. I think I prefer blasphemy to indecency. There is an audacity about it, an adventurousness and defiance that is better than sheer filthiness. But behold! As soon as I went out on the adventure path I met John Barleycorn again. Merely because you have got something to say that may be of interest to others does not free you from making all due effort to express that something in the best possible medium and form. It is good that man should accept at face value the cheats of sense and snares of flesh, and through the fogs of sentiency pursue the lures and lies of passion. I'd rather sing one wild song and burst my heart with it, than live 1,000 years watching my digestion and being afraid of the wet. Which quotation do you like the most? Don't forget to subscribe.